Hello， 大家好，我是 Ray。今天我们来聊一个我学生经常会问我的一个重要的话题。Now, you've probably heard native speakers say something like this before.
And someone forgot their phone at home.
And you're thinking to yourself, wait, she says someone, which means one person, right? But she also says their phone, which means more than one person. How many people is she talking about? And why is English so confusing? Actually, native speakers use they to refer to one person all the time. And you might be thinking, is this a new thing in modern English or something? And the answer is no, because native speakers have used the singular they for hundreds of years, long before modern textbooks. And you have famous writers like Shakespeare, Jane Austen. They used it in their writing, and people have spoken this way for a very long time. So why didn't your grammar book talk about this? Well, that's because grammar books teach clear-cut rules, not necessarily real, authentic spoken English, which is often more nuanced and flexible. Okay, let's get into some reasons. So why do native speakers use the singular they? Well, in many cases, first of all, it's because the gender of the person they're referring to is not known or is irrelevant. For example, someone left their phone here. I hope they come back to get it later. In this case, we don't know who it is. We don't know their gender. We don't know whether we should use he or she. And honestly, gender doesn't really matter in this situation, right? And another reason why natives use they to refer to one person is just better flow and efficiency overall, compared to something like he or she. If we look at these two versions on the screen, yes, the first one is more grammatically accurate because the subject of the sentence, someone, is singular, just like somebody, anybody, anyone. But the second one is so much easier to pronounce and say in general. So in daily speaking, native speakers usually prioritize flow over perfect logic. And by the way, this is why some song lyrics are intentionally grammatically wrong for the sake of better flow and easy pronunciation. For example, like this song.
Oh, she don't see the light that's shining.
Another key reason many people use they to refer to one person is that it's a gender-inclusive pronoun, which doesn't specify the gender. So it sounds a bit more respectful. People don't want to assume someone wants to be called he or she just based on appearance. And gender-inclusive pronouns are actually really popular these days. There are even some interesting examples like Z with the Z, Z with the X, here or A, although I don't think some dictionaries have officially included them yet.
Webster's dictionary has yet to include the pronoun Z as a term in the English language.
But probably the most common gender-inclusive pronoun is still they. 这个就有点像中文里面的他，就是直接一个 TA 啊，不把那个字写出来。By the way, check out this joke that will really help you remember today's concept.
Let me tell you a story. I invited a friend to have dinner at my house the other day. And he was like, oh, I'm bringing a friend. And I said, of course, bring him. He was like, no. Bring them. So I bought a lot of food. My friend showed up at my house with one person. So I said, where are they? And he said, they are here. So you tell them that they are gonna eat all of this food.
So next time, when you hear a Laowai say something that doesn't make sense at face value, don't panic. 英文有时就是这样的 communication over logic. 不过呢，我觉得你如果学英文已经开始学到有点怀疑人生，那说明你已经进入一个比较高级的阶段了。当你学到了对的英文技巧，英文就不再是一种折磨，你会开始享受用流利的英文和全世界的人沟通。想学更多的实用英文技巧，欢迎大家关注 and let's hang out again next time.